أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على رسول الكريم رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقه قولي آمين يا رب العالمين. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu, my dear respected brothers, sisters, elders, and youngsters all watching this video tonight. Inshallah, today I wanted to talk about an issue within our ummah, a very big issue that we don't really think is very big because we've accepted this mindset of individuality, which is not for us. Let me tell you that individuality, we don't have that luxury. Because why? Because Muslims, we are like one body. Our ummah is like one body. We can't just say, oh, this finger is it's getting decayed. So just cut. I don't like this finger, so let's cut it off. No, we try to heal it. We try our best to heal it because we know that if we don't heal it and it has to go, it gets cut off, then we only got four fingers and it's going to be a lot hard. It's going to be a lot harder to work with four fingers than it is with one, than it is with five. Sorry, not one. So that's our state. We do not have the luxury to be individuals. We can be individuals. We can be our own personalities. We can have differences of opinions, but we don't have the luxury to let each other go their own way. And this is something I want to talk about today because we're not doing anything about it. And there's actually extremes nowadays because of the situation. There's people who understand this, right? There's people who don't care about this and they just go on their own way, living their own life, and those guys are just living the dunya. They're like, okay, make money, eat, die, make money, eat, get up next morning, make money, eat like animals. Yamshi, ala wajhihi ahda. They're like animals. Just eat, live, sleep, get up the next day, eat again, sleep the next day. So, and then there's the other extreme, which understands this concept, but they're going about it the wrong way. How so? They're being very rigid. They're being very harsh, and I know that because I was, may Allah forgive me, but I have been that way. I have been both ways. I have been on that side, and I have been on this side. And Insha'Allah, Alhamdulillah, I'm still working to get towards the wasat, the proper way. We know we are ummatun wasata. We cannot be super extreme. And a good example of super extremes is Sufism and the how you call it, the jihadists. They call them the terrorists. Yeah, the terrorists and the Sufis, like that. Those are good example of two extremes in our ummah. One is about, oh, we don't fight and we dance and we twirl around and we wear big hats and everything, and the other people is all about pa 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 pa, you're kafar, pa 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 pa. No, that's not us. That's not our religion. We are ummatun wasata. We worship Allah. You know, we deal with people. We do everything, but everything we do is a worship. That's what we have to understand. So that's kind of what I wanted to get to you, that this issue of being an individual or being trying to act like an ummah has become two extremes because of the situation that people have started to just not care. What have we started to not care about? You're like, well, you're talking about individuality, but what do you really mean, ya akhi arham? What I mean is when we see someone doing wrong, we don't do nothing about it. We either don't say anything or we go hard on them. We're very, very strict on them. We're very shadid with them. When Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said in the Quran, I don't remember the whole ayah, but the part that I remember is وَرُحَمَا بَيْنَكُمْ, and be kind towards one another. So we can't be shadid. If I see my brother not praying or my cousin not praying salah, I have no right to be shadid with him. I have to address him in a nice, calm manner and try to get him to pray salah. You know what I'm saying? And this is what I'm talking about. When we have these extremes, either we don't say anything, we be quiet, or we go so hard that we end up pushing the person away instead of bringing him towards Allah. And this thing has been mentioned so many times in the Quran, so many times. Like the ayat ta'amaruna bil ma'ruf wa tanha anil munkar is an example. And the ayah I had in mind, and the surah I had in mind for this, the best surah. This surah, the Sahaba, they would never, they would, the Sahaba would not leave each other's company until they recited the surah. This surah, everyone knows it. I think everyone should know it. If you don't, then please learn it. It's a very good surah. But this is a surah that you were taught as children traditionally, and so this is how it goes. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والعصر إن الإنسان لفي خسر إلا الذين آمنوا وعملوا الصالحات وتواصوا بالحق وتواصوا بالصبر. So Allah swears by the Asr, by time. Now, there's many definitions by the Mufassir of what Allah means by Asr. I that's a detail of it that can have a whole video on its own. I'm not gonna get into that. I want to keep this as short as possible. So and so that Allah is swearing by time. Well, Asr. Either the time, there's many, either the time after Dhuhr or just time in general. Innal insana lafi khusr. Lafi khusr. Indeed, man, humankind, all of humankind is in loss. Illa alladhina amanu. Because Allah said, inna al insan. So this, the article al, the human. So all the humans. And then illa alladhina amanu, except for those who believe. Wa amilu salihat. So not only do you have to believe, you have to do amilu salihat. And amilu salihat, it may seem simple that, oh, good deeds, but it's a lot deeper than that. And I'll try to give a little brief explanation. Amilu salihat, it's like the deed that has nothing other than the pleasure of Allah. You don't do it for anything other than the pleasure of Allah. For example, you know, some people, they might do a deed to show off. Like they might donate to show they're gonna donate. Their first priority is for Allah. But then they have this other, evil in their heart basically that's like, oh, let me show off. Show off. Wow, I'm doing so much. Look at me. Oh yeah, I'm so great. And it's not like, and I'm not trying to make fun or belittle them. I'm saying this happens in some of us. A lot of times I feel like, a lot of times I feel like I have this issue as well. For example, I was just reading, and I don't want to give out my sins, but I want to give you an example so you can understand, and I want to give it from me so you don't feel like I'm attacking you, because I know how people are in today's world, because I am someone of today's world. So I want to give you an example from me. I was just reading Quran, and Alhamdulillah, and I was reading it, and I was amazed by my recitation, and I said, in my mind, I didn't say it, but in my heart, I had like, oh, look at me, I'm so great. I stopped my recitation right there. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala stopped. Allah also guided me. He said, you did wrong. I stopped my recitation right there, and I made istighfar. I made tawbah. And after that, I continued. So it happens to all of us. Some of us, for example, that recitation right there, started off with doing it for Allah. Then it was like, oh, I like to hear my voice. And, so it happens to all of us in different forms in today's time, because let's face it, we're corrupted. We're corrupted. The best of us are corrupted in today's world. And not just the best of us. Even those who are not corrupted, they do make mistakes, because the son of Adam will make mistakes on and on and on. That's what the son of Adam. It's in his DNA. You can't escape that. Don't try to escape it. Don't try to become a malaika. Don't try. Ya Ikhwani, do not try. Try to become the best. Don't even try to become the best of insan, because that was the Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam and all the Anbiya after him. So Just try to be the best that you can be. That's the one thing. So, like I was saying, you know, we have this issue, for example, that, Amal Salihat, I was explaining, that it's something that you only do for the sake of Allah. There's no other attachment in it. Watawasaw, then these two are the importance. Watawasaw bil haqqi, advise to the truth. Watawasaw bis sabr, and advise patience. So, for example, so what does this mean? Once again, Wallah, Allah swears by time, that by all time, innal insana lafi khusr, that throughout time man is in loss. Illa alladhina amanu, except for those who believe and do the good deeds for the sake of Allah. Only for the sake of Allah. No worldly attachment, no, any other show off, no ilhar. So, وَتَوَاصَوْا بِالْحَقِّ, and those who advise to the truth, and وَتَوَاصَوْا بِالصَّبْرِ. And وَتَوَاصَوْا بِالصَّبْرِ, that meaning, for example, I'm advising someone, it's me and my buddy, we're talking. We're like, hey, buddy, we got to pray salah in the masjid, you know? We got to pray salah in the masjid. I'm like, okay, yeah, let's do that. Start doing that. We start praying salah in the masjid, and then maybe one day he doesn't pray salah in the masjid, or something, he can't find any change, something, he's hit a point where he's having difficulty increasing his taqwa or something. I don't know, but I heard this explanation somewhere and it helped me understand it. That's when we advise them to sabr. Or an example, if other people are trying to advise others to the haqq and they're not making any success, that's when we advise them to sabr. So these two, to advise to haqq and to advise to sabr, ourselves and others, is very important. So the thing is, you need to understand, ya Ikhwani, each and every one of us, we are in loss until we believe, which Alhamdulillah we do. Until we do amalul salihat, and until we advise each other to the haqq, and until we advise each other to sabr. So we have to work as, we're a body. We're not a team, we're not a family, we're a body. We're stuck together, whether you like it or not. I'm your arm, you're my brain, you're my leg, and I'm your leg, and all that. All right, we're together. We have to work as a body. I should be working to benefit you. You should be working to benefit me. We should all be working to benefit each other. So, and this is something which is lost. I don't see this anymore. Like I said, either I see it done in a wrong way, or I see it done, or I don't see it done at all. We go to the, you know what I'm saying? And we need to fix this, because this is the first step that we need to take. We need to start becoming men. We need to start being men. You know what men do? When men see something that's wrong, they stand up and they speak against it. That's what men do. All right. So that's what I and that's what I feel like one of the things we need to fix if we want to be better. And I wanted this to be short, but it became 13 minutes. Inshallah, we're gonna end. But one thing I have the Musnad Ahmad, right? That's why my arms up, because I'm opening it up. I have the Musnad Ahmad right here. Alhamdulillah, and I'm so blessed, yeah, Khwani. I'm from Houston. I'm born and raised Houston, Texas, and the Houston is one of the three cities in America that has Dar Salam bookstore, where you can get books like this and not have to wait. Other cities, you can order online, obviously, but you have to wait. I don't have to wait, Alhamdulillah. So Allah has really blessed me with that. And whatever blessing you have from Allah, this is one point I want to make. Whether the fact that you are Muslim, you need to understand Allah chose you to be a Muslim. He could have made you Christian, He could have made you Jew, He could have made you anything else, but He chose you to be a Muslim. That means that Allah has blessed you, and Allah wants you to use this blessing for the better. And just like Allah has blessed me with being a Muslim, Allah has blessed me with knowing Arabic. Oh, also, if you speak Arabic, Allah has given you a bigger blessing because you understand the Quran, so use it. And Allah has blessed me with that access to that bookstore, so I need to use it to benefit myself and to benefit others. So whatever blessing you have, it could be, for example, you could be very strong. You could be a very strong person. Use this blessing in the way you can. You could be a very smart person, intelligent. Use that blessing. So, anyways, let me move on to the hadith that I wish to mention. It's a Sahih hadith, Musnad Ahmad. So it's also Imam Ahmad ibn Hanbal who wrote this Musnad. He put it in Musnad Abi Bakr as-Siddiq, meaning Abu Bakr as-Siddiq was the one who either narrated it from Rasulullah or he mentioned it. So this one he mentioned it. So Bismillahir Rahman. Haddathna Abu Abdul Rahman Abdullah bin Ahmad bin Muhammad bin Hanbal قال. That right there, that is the son of Abdullah. That one, he's the first narrator, the son Abdullah of Ahmad ibn Hanbal. قال, he said, حدثني أبي أحمد بن محمد بن حنبل بن هلال بن أسد. That is the second narrator, which is Imam Ahmad himself. من كتابه, this book, in his book, this one. قال حدثنا عبد الله بن نمير. Abdullah bin Numayr was another hadith scholar a long time ago in like the 200 Hijri. قال أخبرنا إسماعيل يعني ابن أبي خالد. Ismail, another hadith narrator who gave this narration to Abdullah bin Numayr. And Qais. Qais was someone who was the narrator who heard this narration directly from Abu Bakr. So then then Qais said. Qais, I believe Qais was a Sahaba. I'm not sure. قال قام أبو بكر الصديق قام أبو بكر رضي الله عنه. Stood. So Abu Bakr رضي الله عنه stood. فحمد الله, then he praised Allah. وأثنى عليه, and then وأثنى إليه. I forget what أثنى means. Forgive me, brothers and sisters. وأثنى عليه. Then I forget what that means. I don't know how to translate it in English. If any of you know, please translate it. Please in the comments. ثم قال, then he said, يا أيها الناس, oh the people, إنكم تقرؤون هذه الآية. You have read this ayah. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. يا أيها الذين آمنوا عليكم أنفسكم لا يضركم من ضل إذا أحديتم. So, يا أيها الذين آمنوا, O you who believe, عليكم أنفسكم, on you, on yourselves, لا يضر من ضل إذا أحديتم, meaning those people who believe. So for example, you answer for yourself. You don't answer for someone else at the day of judgment when Allah will ask you what you did, not what someone else did. Like they say, only God can judge me. This is a very famous statement nowadays. People say, well, in the day, only Allah gonna judge me. And yeah, you're right. But listen to this further. Only Allah will judge you. So this ayah is from Al-Ma'idah 105. وَإِنَّ سَمِعْنَا رَسُولُ اللَّهِ صَلَّى اللَّهُ عَلَيْهِ وسلم. And indeed we have heard Rasulullah صلى الله عليه وسلم يقول, he said, إِنَّ النَّاسَ إِذَا رَأَوْا الْمُنْكَرَ فَلَمْ يُغَيْرُهُ أو شك أن يعمهم الله بعقابه. So this is very important, this statement. إن الناس إذا رأوا المنكر, when man sees something evil, something bad, فلم يغيره, and he doesn't like do anything about it, right? He just ignores it. أو شك أن يعمهم الله بعقاب. Allah will punish them. Allah will punish those people. And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, iqab is the one where there's two punishments, adhab and iqab. We've heard this in the Quran. Those two, inna Allah shadid al-adhab and Allah shadid al-iqab. Iqab is, for example, say I commit a punishment, my whole family, the whole Muslim Ummah gets punished for that. I commit a sin and the whole Muslim Ummah gets punished for that. That's iqab. And that's what he means. That's what Hassan said. So when we see something wrong, when someone is not praying and we know it, when someone is not giving zakat and we know it, when someone is not what is it called, giving sadaqah, when someone is being a bakhil, meaning a miser, when someone does not read Quran, all whatever we may think is wrong, we should advise them to وَتَوَاصَوْا بِالْحَقِّ. We should advise them to what is true. We shouldn't leave them in their evil. And we need to start, yeah, Khwani, we need to start with our families, ourselves and our families. That's how we got to start with ourselves, our families. And then we should spread to our friends. We should spread to those around us. And maybe, inshallah, our families will do the same. And this will help us build the ummah brick by brick, person by person, inshallah ta'ala. So that's all I wanted to mention today. Look, Ikhwani, I said I'll try to make it short, but it ended up being 20 minutes. Forgive me, Ikhwani. I can't really, it's hard to explain these things in the short videos. So once again, I hope everyone you learned something from what I said today. And inshallah, please leave any thoughts in the comments, anything you want to add to what I said, or any comments for me how I could improve myself if anything like that, anything you want, any video suggestions, please. Tafaddal, video suggestions, anything you want, as long as they're not fatwas. I don't give fatwa, and I don't think I need to state that. I just said that in case you didn't. I just said that in case you were thinking about giving a fatwa, but you probably know that. So, anyways, salam. Anyways, I hope everyone has a great night. Take care of yourselves. Become better every single day. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.